Sergeant Levi Wilson,
What's going on?
you have been through some trauma.
Yeah.
That's especially with your leg. What happened?
Back in 2008, we were in a convoy and, an IED blast.
Yeah. And then they thought for a while they couldn't save your leg.
They did.
Yeah. You went through multiple surgeries, fractured your back.
That's correct.
That's cool. So, after everything you've been through, and you and your wife, Kayla, have been through, what do people out there, what can they do to support guys like you?
Just being aware of the situation. You don't always see the injuries. A lot of it's mental or physical, or you got guys that are fully dressed. You don't really understand. You see a veteran go and park in a handicapped spot. Don't just assume that he's not disabled. I've had people yell at me, "Hey, you don't look disabled," because you can't see my injuries. So just raising that awareness for people to understand that people are hurting more than they may realize.
Right. Okay.
The reality of war, the reality of combat, people
Right.
coming home from it.
That's an important message, that after you come back, not all the injuries are visible.
That's right.
And the struggles that veterans face aren't always visible, and it's done on a voluntary basis. You volunteer for the military, you take injuries so others don't have to. So I think it's others' duties to support guys like you. So what happened to you when you were at a recent, we won't name the restaurant, but a recent restaurant that we all know?
Yeah, I pulled into a handicapped spot. It was one day. It was cold outside. I was hurting. Again, like I've explained to you before, I've had multiple injuries throughout my body. I think 12 almost. And so on a cold day, when my back is in a lot of pain, my legs are in a lot of pain, I pull into a handicapped spot. One day at lunch, I had my kids with me, and we pulled into this parking spot, and it's crazy how people they look at you and they don't realize the disabilities that you have sustained, or you look fine, you look normal, so they assume, or their ignorance gets to them. And then I've had people make comments to me before. They yell, "Hey, you don't look disabled to me," or that kind of thing. And so
you're in a parking spot trying to go to eat with your family, and someone drives by and says, "You don't look disabled to you."
yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Or they curse at you. Yeah, it don't make you feel good at all.
Make you feel good. So Sergeant Wilson here had a blast injury where he had multiple fractures to his back from the explosion in war, and they almost could not save his left leg, but luckily you persisted. They saved it. And this is a take-home point from the recent wars, is because medicine has advanced, people are surviving injuries that they would not survive before. So you may not see that limp, that prosthetic leg, but a lot of the injuries are invisible in the forms of chronic pain, traumatic brain injuries, the hallmark injury, where when you get hit by a blast, if you think of your brain as jello inside a skull, it gets shaken up, you lose memory, things like that. So be empathetic to our veterans.
I would just say, don't assume.
Don't assume.
Don't assume.
Yeah, I mean, remember, these guys volunteered. I mean, they're not trying to milk a system. They volunteered for the military. They took the injuries, so the rest of us don't have to. So it is our duty to help them when they come back and not make statements like that. The battle continues, you said.
The battle continues.